what's up? It's Swamp, back for another tutorial. Okay, and this is going to be a two-parter about color. And so I figured in the first part I should just show the basics of color, so then the second part would make sense. Because I didn't want to just dive right in, because some people might not know about vector colors and stuff like that. So I'm just going to show you everything. So let's start off with just a color event. So I'm going to grab some planes just to use an example, as examples. Alright, I'm going to make it black, turn the emission up just a little bit. Okay, and copy it a few times. Okay, so now on this first one, what we're going to do is use a color event. I'm going to show you how to use it to just make an object change color. So you grab the color event, go to color, make it whatever color you want, select event target. It's going to be what you want to change color. You're going to need to make sure you turn the emissions up on some of these objects, because emission on the bottom is going to be it's going to have a lot to do with how bright the color is. So make sure it's turned up a little bit if it looks a little dark. Okay, so now to trigger this, we're going to use an area trigger. Just set it right here on the track, and on hit, it's going to go to the color event. Alright, so now let's test it. I'll show you how it works. Turn on icons so you can see it, and it turns the box red. So, okay. Alright, so now second, I'm going to show you how to switch between two colors. Just make something toggle between two colors. So we're going to use an interval trigger here. Set that there. I'm going to need another color event, so I'm just going to copy this one over. I'm going to switch the target though. Deselect that. Select this one. Alright, and then I'm going to copy this color event so we have two. Alright, so this first one, we're going to set the color to black. The second one should be set to red, which is how it was before. Okay, so now on the impulse, we're going to go, I'm going to set this to 100. And the event filter is going to go to the first color event, sorry. Okay, so next you're going to need an impulse delay filter. And what this delay is going to be half of what the impulse is. Then you go to the second color with that. So go from this color event to the delay filter. So what it does is every 100 ticks, it goes to the black color event, makes it black. And then every 50, which is half of that, it goes to the red. So here we'll hit play and see it switches between red and black. Now you can turn these numbers down, and you can switch them to, you don't have to be exactly even, half and half. You can turn it up or down, and it'll make it a little bit more, flash for a little longer on one color, whichever you want to do. Alright, so now thirdly, I'm going to show you color vectors. Now this is the coolest thing, I think, is, okay, so grab a vector in the data sources. And what you can do with this is you can select red, green, and blue values, RGB values, as opposed to HSB, I think. What are they? Hue, saturation, and brightness, I think, are what they are. Yeah, hue, saturation, and brightness. And this is red, green, and blue, which is RGB. They're pretty much the same values. I think you can get 16 million colors out of it, something like that. But anyway, so these RGB values are from 0 to 255 with each of the three numbers. And so what I am going to do is I'm going to cheat right now and use this variable that I set up here for 255, just to use the first number 255, which makes this red. Okay, so now to make something, use a vector. You go to material, pick value object, and select the vector. Now, like I said, this vector I made at 25500, and I used this variable that I set to 255 earlier just to save time. There's no reason you have to do that. You can make it whatever numbers that you want. You can go online and grab a Rgb Color Picker, and it'll help you find the numbers that you need for whatever colors you want to use. Now, the coolest thing about this is if you have other items on your track that you want to make this same color, you just go to material and pick value object and select that same vector. And now also, if you wanted to change colors and you didn't want to be red anymore and you wanted to be blue, you can go and just change the numbers in the vectors, and it changes everything on your whole track. Instead of just changing one object at a time, it'll change all of the objects' colors. Alright, so now this last thing I'm going to show you here is fading between two vectors. So we're going to grab two vectors here. The first one I'm going to make red, which is 25500. So I'll pick a value object. I'm going to use this variable 255 for the red. And then the blue is 00255. So I'll use this variable again for that value there for blue. Alright, so now what you need is a curve vector data source. So let's grab that curve vector data source. The first vector is going to be the red, or whatever color you pick. The second vector is going to be the other color. Okay, so now what you want to do in this, we're going to make this a little longer just so you can see it's a little cooler. You want to make it looping, and you want to invert second half. And then with your value object in this, go to material, pick value object, and you're going to pick the curve vector data source. Okay, so now let's hit play, and you see it fades from red to blue and goes through all the colors in between. This one switches back and forth between red and black. This one fades between red and blue. You can change these colors to be whatever colors you want, and it'll change the fade. Alright, so that's all for the first part. Thanks for watching, and have a good time.